You're watching Ticket TV. Like, share, and subscribe on your way in.
All right, you guys. So salute to everybody that's gonna tap in. Appreciate all y'all that's gonna join the stream, man. Salute to all of y'all. And let's get into this video. I want to talk about um, the reports that have come out that placed Nolan Wells on the island. Apparently, two witnesses have told the investigators uh, prior, previously, that Nolan Wells was on the island, Horn Island, at 6 p.m., which would put him on the island after his friends left at 4:30, which would debunk a lot of theories about that's been going on about Nolan Wells right now. I asked you guys a question the other day when I came into this channel. I asked y'all a question, and the question I rose on this channel is why is nobody talking about Nolan Wells and questioning the time of death with Nolan Wells? I think that's very important. The question of the time of death of Nolan Wells is very important to estimate that time. Also, um, the toxicology. I've talked about that, as well as I talked about something else that I heard. And I told you guys this, and I don't know if y'all missed this, but I think a lot of people have miscalculated this case. What if this case, the timeline was different as far as when Nolan Wells passed away? I am starting to believe that Nolan Wells passed away between 6 and 7:30. It would make more sense because in Horn Island, most people leave and head back to the mainland in that afternoon. And as I look through the reports, as you guys see right here in Yahoo News, it's been reported. Uh, if you read this second paragraph right here, it says that Wells' friends told authorities, as reported by TMC, they urged him to the boat or to board the boat with them because he chose to stay behind on the island with a girl. The group stated they departed Horn Island around 4:30 p.m. on July the 4th. However, witnesses told police they spotted Wells on the island as late as 6 p.m. Now, why is that important? That's important because I told y'all something. And I told y'all when the black boy said something, Tristan, it set me off. Everybody was getting mad. Ticket, why won't you say that these boys on that boat did it? It's because Ticket don't always fall for the banana in the tailpipe. I told you guys, I I think that Nolan Wells, it was foul play involved in his death. But I think a lot of people are wrong about this case as far as who they're accusing and the time that he died. I am starting to believe, from what I'm going to show you guys, that Nolan Wells passed away later on between 6 and 7:30. That's what I believe that night. Me personally, who who was involved, I have no idea. But I'm starting to believe, and I do believe that it was foul play. But I don't believe that it's the boys that people are blaming. And I'm going to tell you why. The black boy Tristan says something. There's not no spiritual sacrifices, none of that stuff. I don't listen to psychics and stuff like that. I don't get into witchcraft. It's not that. It's very simple. That same day, I listened to all the stories. The black boy Tristan that everybody was blowing off, he said something that stuck with me and never got away from me. He said that he had been into a fight. They said he had been into a fight and he was forced to leave the island early. And that there was a few fights and disagreements out there. We heard that from some of the videos that we saw out there. So it lets you know that there was tension out there. It wasn't everybody just getting along on that island. It was tension. It was a lot of different things going on out there, right? Well, when the Cajun Navy or the Cajun, I forget whatever they call them, but when they came out with their report, I noticed something. The Cajun Navy. When you look at the Cajun Navy's timeline, witnesses state at 7:30 p.m. Let's start from the bottom. And Nolan was nowhere in sight. But also witnesses state to the police that the last time they saw Nolan was 6. Now, I've told people on this channel, the sun sets around 7:30. I mean, it's getting dark outside. Hard to see things, right? So people started leaving around that time. So this would have eliminated a lot of people from that island, right? But something else I saw on this page that made me, it reaffirmed everything I was thinking. And it's the 5 p.m. situation. So go up one slot to 431, where Nolan's friends left, right? But the part that everybody I think overlooked is that, once again, at 3 o'clock, I believe that was, is when that boy Tristan left, because they said he apparently got into a fight. Then you fast forward to 431, the boys leave on that boat without Nolan. At 5 p.m., it was reported that there was another fight out there. Who was fighting? Not only that, Nolan Wells was spotted out there, according to the reports. Witnesses told the police they saw him as late as 6 p.m. on the island. So there was a fight at 5. The friends left at 4:30. 1. Fight at 5. Nolan spotted at 6. Then nobody sees him anywhere in sight at 7:30. I think everybody's been wrong. I'm just going to say it. I think all the people on the internet are flat out wrong. I think that the call, all that shit is wrong. And I think it's going to probably be proven. Me personally, I don't think them boys had anything to do with it. I think that Nolan Wells did not accidentally die. And I say that because the police reportedly have not ruled out foul play. I think something happened that nobody knows is privy to on the internet, because it's private investigation that happened between 6 and 7:30, from when he was last reported seen to where nobody saw him again. And remember, at Horn Island, people started leaving around 6:30 to go back to the mainland. So all those people start leaving to go to the mainland. And that call, I don't believe that call. That call has not been authenticated. And I know a lot of people are fond of that lady. I don't believe that call. That call also had 20 seconds added on to that from what is being reported. How did they get there? That's why the call's not being authenticated. That's why That's why Ben Crump is not even acknowledging that call. It's been multiple days now since Ben Crump said he was going to check that audio. Ben Crump hadn't said a word. You know why? He knows. I believe the witnesses and the timeline they're looking at, you guys, is between 5 and 7:30. To the people who say Cajun Navy is lying, they're not lying. They don't have no point in this investigation. The person should stop posting these lies. I won't post a lie. I'll post the truth. The truth is that you weren't there, and the truth is that witnesses told the cops that they saw Nolan Wells on the island at 6 p.m. The truth is that witnesses said he was nowhere in sight at 7:30. The truth is that we all need to know the time of death. See, people will come on the internet and say anything, and we don't even have a time of death. But what we do have is the statements that were given to the police from people who were there. Listen to what I just said, right? And to the person who says, when did we clock the last time we saw another person? Easy. Because if I'm with you, let's say I got a smartwatch on or whatever like that, and it was something I was doing at that time. Maybe I was getting ready to leave at that time and I saw you. Oh, I remember I saw him right before I left. What time did you leave? I was leaving right around 6:10, 6:05. That's what time we left. Your GPS coordinates and everything will show what time you left too. I'm starting to believe, and I'm going to say it again, to the person who says the audio is real, it's not. That's why Ben Crump won't talk about it. Ben Crump is not stupid. He won't say a word about it. In fact, it will go months and Ben Crump will not acknowledge that audio. You want to bet? We can bet. I know you like the girl, but this ain't about who we like. This is about facts. This is about facts. And I also am of the belief. See, Tatum been poking his chest too much. People come on the internet and just think Tatum doing this shit for dumb shit. Somebody put Tatum up to this. But Tatum, he's not a damn fool. Right? He's a joke, but he's not a fool. Somebody put him up to this because I believe somebody else has the videos that prove that he wasn't on that boat. Why do I say that? Because Tatum said that the cops have already been given videos, multiple videos, that show directly Nolan is nowhere near that boat. And exactly what happened the entire time. How can Tatum know unless he's locked in? These people went to Tatum. They could have went to anybody. I told y'all this 20 times. But they went to Tatum because he's a black dude who stand up and speak up for them more than he speak ever for his own. Let me tell y'all something, man. He ain't coming out here running his mouth unless he got a blicky. Trust me, I know how to move. Anybody want to bet the cops got videos of that boat when it was being towed off to show everybody that was on there? And I agree, Tatum is one of the worst of the worst. He knows something though. Tatum went down to Mississippi. You're not convincing me he went down to Mississippi and didn't talk to any cops that'll work in the case. Can't convince me of that. Tatum's tied in with people at the highest levels. They all know this. To the person who said I've been compromised, I can never be compromised. I'll block you from my channel for ever talking about me. Because see, when it comes out that I'm right, you'll never be able to come back to my channel again because I blocked your ass because of your ignorance. See, Tatum is banking on y'all's anger and hatred for y'all to say anything. I'm not saying that the boy didn't die from foul play. I'm just saying I think everybody's wrong to think that those boys on that boat did that. I think it was an entirely different situation that nobody on the internet is talking about. And I think when the cops come out and they put this full report out, I'm willing to bet. Because once again, I've told you guys there were multiple fights that day on that island. Multiple fights, which lets you know that everything wasn't on the up and up. Tristan, he left early because of the fight he was in. We saw other issues on the island just from videos. Then On this report right here, it says at 5 p.m. there were a group of people fighting. This is after Nolan friends left. There were still people fighting on the island. But Nolan Wells was spotted on the island all the way up until 6 p.m. But then he wasn't seen at 7:30. And I told y'all in that other video, think about this. I want y'all to think about something. Let's say you think that them boys did something to Nolan. I want y'all to think about this. In the middle of at 4:30 p.m. in broad daylight where everybody can see it. Everybody, because they wasn't that far from the island. It was right there. So that means that over 500 people had to witness this. Listen to what I'm saying. Don't take your emotions out of it and listen to what I'm saying. Them boys did not get far. Everybody would have had to seen that because they were still right there when they made that call. Now think about this. In order to dump a body, that body would have had to been weighed down. You would have had to have all types of weights and everything to get a body to go down. And you weren't in that deep of water away from the island yet. So think about this. Think about this. And if they put them out in the middle of the water, everybody's boat that went back in that direction, somebody would have hit Nolan. Think about what I'm saying to y'all. Peep game to what I'm saying to y'all now. In broad daylight, in front of everybody, you would have had to put weights. There were no weights on them, none of that stuff. You would have had to put weights on them, weigh them down in the water. Think about this now. Why do you think whenever they throw somebody over in the water, they have to throw weights on them and to get them down? You can dispute the audio because the audio has been tampered with. The audio is not authenticated. That is the reason why Ben Crump hasn't said a word about that audio. That audio is not permissible in any court of law. You can get mad at me. I don't give a fuck. I'm just going to tell the truth on this channel. You might like that girl. I don't have nothing against the girl. I have something for the truth. And I'm going to tell y'all something. If they would have did that there, you would have had you would have tell me 500 witnesses, 600 witnesses, because everybody had to go back the same way. Nolan's body would have been effed up. Had all those boats would have cruised back the same way. But what makes more sense? If he was still on the island at 6 o'clock, and something between 6 and 7:30 happened on that island, and you're looking at the wrong people, and you don't even know the people you should be looking at, because the people we should be looking at is whoever was on the island from 6 to 7:30. And once again, witnesses have told the police from the beginning of their investigation that they saw Nolan Wells on the island at 6 p.m. And witnesses told the police that 7:30 p.m. he was nowhere in sight. I'm going to tell y'all something. I told y'all this. What's the quickest way to get disappeared? If he would have got ran over by a boat, he'd have been chewed up. That's bullshit. His body wasn't in that condition. The best way to get missing is when the sun set. It's harder to see people out there. And it's harder because the water is kind of dark, murky. So it's harder to see things. And he had on blue shorts. So it's kind of harder to see stuff at night when the sun's setting. This is why everybody leaves a little bit early from the island. They leave that island around 6:30, 7 o'clock. Because the sun sets and it's dark at around 7:35, 7:40. Listen to what I just told you. So, see, sometimes you got your mind so fixated on one thing, it's like you block out all other possibilities. Because the truth is, think about this. If you look at the tides, if they did it where y'all say he did it, why wouldn't his body wash up in a different place? How can it come all the way back around there to the tip of where they found it? No dice. See, I believe that something happened that we're going to find out about. I truly believe we're going to find out exactly what happened. And I believe it has something to do with an entirely different set of people that was still on that island. That's what I believe. The audio is not worth the toilet paper that's in your bathroom right now. That audio will never be used in court, and that girl will be sued. She's in a lot of trouble. And I'm just being honest. I mean, you can get mad at me. You can say, "Ticket, man, why you doing that?" I only have allegiance to the truth on my channel. That's it. And I'm going to tell y'all something. You guys, you're praying. Because I'm going to tell y'all something. I do believe the cops have videos of what happened to them boys' boat. And I believe they have videos of everybody that's on that boat. I'm talking about full videos because people were recording that full incident. And I believe those videos they have are going to fill in the blanks about what was said on that boat and exactly what was happening on that boat. And I believe the cops got that, which is why all those boys aren't arrested. You know how I know? Guess who else got a copy of those fucking videos and ain't putting them out? Your boy Batum Tatum. Why you think Tatum only put out a clip? See, you got to play chess, not checkers, nigga. And I believe that Tatum thinks he's smarter than everybody that's on the internet. So, peep what Tatum did. He came out, he stumped hard as hell for them boys. He promoted their fundraiser, and then he has submitted names to their lawyers to sue these individual content creators for slander and defamation. But Tatum slipped up and he said something. Tatum said, see, y'all think the boys did it. I got the videos. It was 3 to 4 different angles out there. And then what else did Tatum say? He said he wasn't putting out the other videos he had because some other people didn't have nothing to do with it and they got caught in the video. And he didn't want to dox them. Which lets me know Tatum got way more than what the fuck he talking about. See, I'm going to tell you something. When you're dealing with people like Tatum, you have to think on a different level. You can't think on a low level. If you think on a low level, you're done. He fuels and feeds off people he think don't have a brain. Especially you black and he think you don't have a brain. That's why he talk the way he talk on his channel. See, they ain't got no brain, y'all. They don't know how to think. See, it's gonna come out here. I'm tell you what. I'm tell you something. I'm tell y'all something. Tatum's not a damn fool. He's not a fool. That boy got more tapes than what he putting out. And when he said that it was 3 or 4 different videos, boats that recorded this whole situation, but all Tatum put out was a short little clip. And he said, the cops got all the rest of them. The cops got them. To the person who says, I love tearing down a brother, you a fucking lie. I talk about everybody on my networks. Get off my channel. Get off my channel. You don't say that when I talk about any white man on this channel. And see, these people don't even have brains to think. They just come on the internet just talking. I've sat right here and I've said that I think it's foul play. But just because I don't think it's the boys that you guys are blaming, I'm telling you, you guys are not using your brains. You need to open your mind and be able to expand your thought of the investigation and not just keying on a couple guys, because there's a wider time frame. And think about this once again, it still has not been publicized at the time of Nolan Wells' death. Peep what I just told y'all. It has not been publicized at the time of Nolan Wells' death from the autopsy report. Now think about what I'm saying to y'all. Think about what I'm saying to everybody that's listening to this video. You have to use your mind. Do I think something happened to Nolan Wells? You damn right I do. There was over 400 to 500 people out there. But I'm telling y'all, I think it happened later on. Few people leave. Somebody says the timeline keeps changing. No, it didn't change. It didn't change. It stayed the same, as that people on the internet was promoting a certain timeline. When I said, nah, I'm going to sit back. But when I saw that people have told the cops, the police, witnesses, that they saw him as late as 6, but he was not seen at 7:30. But also there was a fight at 5. And there were multiple fights that day. I'm not stupid, yo. I'm willing to bet, and I promise y'all this. Everybody's going to come back to my channel in the end. Damn, Ticket, you was right, nigga. I'm telling you this. Tatum is not talking this shit. He not talking this cash money hot boy shit on the internet for no reason. That mofo got videotapes he ain't showed people. He admitted he got tapes he ain't showed us. Because he even said, man, it was 3 to 4, it was 3 to 4 boats that was videoing this whole situation. See, y'all black people ignorant. Y'all ignorant. When he actually showed the photo or the video, the little clip he showed, he teased the clip. In that clip, Nolan is nowhere on that boat. That boat is so small, there was nowhere for Nolan to be on that boat. That is one of the smallest boats that was out there. Matter of fact, that boat had too many people that was on that boat. Anybody who ride boats know what I'm talking about. To the persons, you don't clearly hear that. You can say something in your brains, you don't clearly hear that. I'm telling you this, it's all gonna be exposed to the world. Watch. And Tatum's gonna come around here acting like he's some type of top G, because he knows that people, they automatically gonna jump on one thing. He knows that. He is counting on you. But notice how Tatum walked his talk back about, oh, just some. I said, he know something happened. It's just not who y'all think. See, to be out there, look at something in the background, you guys. Do y'all see in the background of that picture right there on your screen? Remember I told y'all that they weren't that far from the island? This is something that nobody looked at. But I'm going to force you to look at this. Look behind the boat and the line. Look what you see in the line back there. That's the island. Look at all those boats that were still back there, all those people. I'm going to tell you like this, and to the person who says you think I'm wrong, you must not know Ticket. You better bet on me, fool, because I know I ain't wrong. Look at all those boats that was out there. They all got to go the same way to get back to the mainland. Nolan Wells' body, think about this, you guys. If you drop it off here, there's no way that many boats go back in the same route and nobody sees him at that time. But you know what? If he's on the island later on, like around 6 o'clock, where the sun's getting darker, it's harder to see people outside, and that water's dirty as hell close to that island, I believe something happened between 6 and 7:30 p.m. I believe something happened between 6 and 7:30 p.m. on that island. That's what I believe. And I believe that the cops, I believe that Ben Crump, I believe that the family are secretly investigating what happened in that situation. Think about this. Ben Crump has not even come out. His investigators have already checked that audio. He hadn't said a word about it since. You know why? He knows the truth. But what they're trying to find out is what happened on that island. He has never came out and accused any of these boys of anything. Peep game now. If you drop a body in the water right there, the island's behind them. You can see all those boats right there on the island. Everybody got to come that same way. You're talking about over goddamn 500 to 600 people out there, y'all. I'm telling y'all something. When I saw an occasion, they're not investigators. All they did was just put up the timeline of events. They're not investigators. So they have no. But when I saw there was a group of people fighting at 5, I already know that Tristan got in a fight earlier that day. There were multiple people on the island that were fighting. So that lets me know there were tensions on that island. And the fact that I saw the police report recently that said that they're not ruling out foul play, but that the police have already ruled out those boys. That's why none of those boys have been arrested. I think you better change your timeline. If the last person saw him at 6 and told the cops that they saw him at 6, but then he was not seen at 7:30, well, this falls right into what I thought, which is on the island, on Horn Island, the sun sets at this time of year, 7:35, 7:40 is pitch dark outside. So people leave the island right around 6:30. Most people leave so that they're not caught in the middle of the night going back to the docks. Listen now. Listen now. So, as people are leaving, and less people are getting there or on the island, because some people may leave a little bit later, 6:45. Yeah, yeah. I think once that timeline come out of what time he died, and once those videos that Tatum won't release that he got, Tatum has copies. He's admitted that he has these copies, right? He said the cops got him too. Think about this now. So the person says at pitch dark, at 7:45, it's pitch dark outside right now in Horn Island, Mississippi. At 7:45, 7:50 p.m., by 8 p.m., you can't see a damn thing on that water. That sun starts to set The clock is ticking at 6:30. People are leaving to get back to the docks, whether they're going to Biloxi or whether they're going to Ocean City. Listen to what I just said to y'all. Listen to what I just said to y'all. I believe it's a whole different set of people. Why do I say this? Because there was so much going on that day. And remember, we saw Nolan on different boats. The boat that we saw Nolan in the picture on bending up, that was a whole different boat. That's not this boat. That boat that we seen Nolan on, that he was bending over picking up something, that's not this boat. That's a whole way bigger boat Nolan was on. So he damn sure was boat hopping out there. Remember, Nolan was an athlete playing basketball and football. Nolan was a very good defensive player. Got a lot of steals. Very good defensive basketball player. A lot of steals. He was a solid football player. Receptions. He got touchdowns. He was athletic. Right? So the person who said, where's the footage? Here's the one thing you have to understand on the internet. You're never going to see all the footage until the cops release the grand jury information. That's the thing. You have all these people trying to accuse boys of murder, and the cops haven't even released the grand jury information. You're not going to see it till the grand jury comes out. And when the grand jury comes out and then you see all those videos and everybody's going to be, so you don't know who you're interacting with throughout that day. Or who he's interacting with. They're jumping boat to boat to boat. We don't know any of these things people may have told cops. Cops probably got so much shit right now. People, what I said, this case is so intense that if this was let me say this again, if this was a just open and shut drowning case, this case is so intense, they would have convened a grand jury already and sent the paperwork to the grand jury and said, yeah, we over with. They're investigating somebody. But it's not those boys. Trust what I tell y'all this. I'm willing to bet a whole lot. And the audio is not a problem. The audio is not authenticated. That's the reason why Ben Crump won't talk about it. And that's no disrespect to that lady, but Ben Crump won't even touch that audio. They won't. Notice how Ben Crump never mentioned that girl's name. He's not stupid. The day that audio came out with that girl, Ben Crump had his people check it. Couldn't confirm it. Couldn't confirm it. I'm just being honest with you. If that audio was legit, Ben Crump would have been out here. That would have been his Bible in this whole situation. He would have raised that up to everybody. Ben Crump would have came out, had a press conference. Can y'all believe this audio? Ben Crump is not stupid. He had the top investigators in the world investigate this thing. Trust me. Trust what I tell you. So, I believe, and I won't say it again, that when we talk about the time of death, right, there was nothing wrong with Nolan's body. It was not decomposed. When they got it, when the state got it in a way different condition than when the independent autopsy got it. The independent autopsy probably got it like, 10 to 15 days after he died. That's a long time, man. Versus the state. The state may have got it within 24 to 36, 37, 38 hours. Right? Yeah, but Nancy's not she's not the civil lawyer in this case. Nancy is a criminal lawyer. See, y'all gotta understand one thing. Ben Crump deals with money. He knows. Let me tell y'all something. If Ben Crump had the blicky, he'd be out here singing to the high heavens about that shit. Because that's money right there. That Big Crump is not he's not using that shit because he knows it ain't worth a shit. I keep telling y'all this. Y'all get mad at me for saying the truth. And when y'all find out in the end, I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm just gonna say you let dumbass Tatum outsmart all of y'all. That's all I'm gonna say. You let a capping ass dude who bow down to supremacy outsmart all y'all. Tatum could end all this shit today and drop every video he got right now. He ain't gonna do it. He ain't gonna do it. You know why he ain't gonna do it? First of all, he ain't gonna do it because I ain't gonna say that. Just say it like this. He's submitting people's names to get sued. That should let y'all know something. Tell y'all this right now. You don't have to agree with me. I'm telling you right now, I don't think it's no fake out of nothing. I think that people got the time frame completely wrong. I think this happened between 6 and 7:30 p.m. on the island in a whole different situation. That's what I believe. I believe it's foul play. I believe it's a whole different situation. I believe these boys that's on this boat don't have anything to do with that shit. That's exactly what I believe. So do I believe something happened to Nolan Wells? You damn right I do. It's too many witnesses out there for it to be not. But as it gets later, those witnesses get cut down because more people are going home. The question y'all should be asking the police when it comes out, and trust me, it's gonna come out. Who was the last person with him? Think about what I just said. Look at the distance they are from the island. Right? To the persons that have friends getting fights, man, listen, man. Guys, like I said before, man, ain't gonna be no love lost. But I'm telling y'all, man, I believe this thing happened right there on that island between 6 and 7 o'clock. Sun setting, I believe right then, right around then, and I believe that it wasn't nearly as many people that was out there at that time. Because I believe around 6:30, which is what the time a lot of people start to leave, right? Then you still got people that be on the island doing nefarious things, right? Listen to what I said. No, I said I said that it was multiple boats that was around at that time. Tatum said it was 3 boats, 3 to 4 boats. And that everybody that was on those boats that was around this boat right here on your screen, they were all recording this whole situation where this boat was getting towed. They was hooking a line up to another boat and they were towing that boat. And he says that all those videos, they have the full videos that show the full situation. And Nolan was nowhere around. And guess what? Tatum got copies of those videos. He won't put them out. All that nigga put out was a clip to tease you. Tatum could have ended all of this and put out the full videos. But he said, listen to what he said. He said, but I ain't gonna, cause see, it's some people that's in them other videos that if I show y'all them videos, see, y'all gonna start blaming them for shit too. And they ain't got nothing to do with none of this. Meaning what? Meaning, if it's 3 or 4 boats around, other boats are filming this, but they're filming other people who are on other boats that are close. People can say, oh, y'all witnesses too, and y'all ain't do shit, and start harassing them. That's why Tatum don't want to show that video is what he's saying. Bingo. Because he said as soon as this happened, this crazy situation, people start pulling out their videos, recording. You can disagree with me all you want. When I'm right, they all gonna come back. Watch what I tell y'all. They gonna say, damn, Ticket, you was right. Watch what I tell you. And I believe, and I'm willing to bet anything, if anyone gets arrested in this investigation for Nolan Wells, it won't be any of those boys on that boat. It's going to be somebody else that was on that island. It's gonna be somebody else that was on that island, and it's not gonna have nothing to do with none of these boys right here. That's what I truly believe. And I believe it's gonna be somebody else, something else that. Let me give y'all a perfect example. I'm gonna give y'all a perfect example. The O.J. Simpson trial. They immediately focused on O.J. Simpson. They ain't care about no other suspects. They just said, nah, O.J. did it. We believe O.J. did it. It's nobody else. We don't care about nothing else. Now you have cut your entire investigation in half. Think about this. Sweet Talk says, why didn't they attend their funeral? How could you attend a funeral when people were threatening to kill them? People have literally been threatening to kill them boys. I mean, would you go somewhere where people threatening to kill you? I mean, straight up. Let's just tell the truth. Somebody said, why did they delete messages? It hasn't been proven that they deleted messages. You haven't heard Ben Crumb and them talk about the messages no more. Tatum been dropping y'all clues, man. Tatum is a fool. I'm gonna tell you something. I read Tatum like a book. Tatum is I can't stand Tatum, but I know what the fuck Tatum do. Tatum throwing shit out there for people to say. He want people to say. I ain't gonna say that. Because I don't want Tatum. I'm gonna tell y'all this right now. Tatum asked the question: how could they delete messages out of his phone if his phone was locked? I've been asked y'all that question. That would mean somebody had to have his code, right? Think about what I said now. I'm just saying, y'all not using y'all mind. You know what I'm saying? Listen, man, I'm just gonna tell y'all like this. A lot of this shit gonna come out, man. It's gonna surprise everybody. I believe it's gonna be a completely different situation. You said, how did his mom get into his phone? Oh, well, nobody knows if she took it to the to get it open. You can get a phone unlocked. All you gotta do is take it to I forget the name of this place. I don't know if that's the same name of the place down there, but you can just take it to a place they can open it just like that. It'd take them about 2 hours. No, not facial recognition. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Right? So I'm gonna say to y'all this, right? And I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. You know what I mean? Nah, that's not true, man. You can't return. It's not gonna happen in that time. You're gonna have to have lights. It's gonna be on your coordinates. That's not on their GPS coordinates that they went back to the island, man. Listen, I tell you. Hold on. I'm telling y'all this right now. I can show you pictures of what I'm talking about as far as the time and the sunset. I can show you. I mean, I don't have to come on the internet and lie. Hold on. Let me see if I can get this for y'all. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. I'm gonna see if I can show y'all. I want to see if I can show y'all. All right. All right, you guys. So this is around 6:30 p.m. right now on Horn Island. Let me show y'all a picture. This would be around 6:30 p.m. on Horn Island right now. All right. 6:30, 6:40. Right. Now, let's get back to this. And I've told people this. Like, I have no reason to lie to y'all. You know what I'm saying? So it's still people that's on the island, but a lot of people are starting to leave. Why are they starting to leave? Because it's harder to navigate those waters at night. You do not want to get caught out in the waters at night like that. So most of those people that go out there, anybody can tell you that's out there. I talk to people that's been out there. They start leaving around this time so that they can get back to the mainland before it's pitch dark. Most people like to do that. You know what I'm saying? They like to get back over there before it's dark. They don't want to get caught in that water, right? I'm showing y'all this. So the person who says that ain't it, I'm showing you an act. Okay, cool, no problem. Okay, no problem. Okay. You said AI gave your daughter my password to your phone. Okay. Nah, I believe that the parents probably got it unlocked. If they didn't know his code, I believe the parents probably got it unlocked. Right? That's what I believe. But anyways, here's my point. My point would be that most people, all those people you saw on the island, that cuts it down. That significantly cuts down all those people we saw on that island. Like the time. So what does that cut down? What does the time cut down, y'all? It cuts down the witnesses. Because I'm gonna show y'all something. I'm gonna show y'all actual pictures from that day. And can't nobody tell me. See, niggas talking all this shit on YouTube. I'm gonna show you actual pictures from that day. So this was that afternoon. This wasn't after 5 p.m. Look at the skies. You said, why do you think they deleted all the social media? You're getting death threats and people are threatening to do something to you. You would delete your social media so they can't find where you're at and start harassing your family members. I mean, that makes sense. You wouldn't just leave it open. I'm just telling you the truth, man. If somebody started coming to your social media, harassing you, threatening your family, you would shut down your social media. Now, that picture was taken that day, right? Now, this is around, like Nancy Grace said, 5 p.m. Look. Look at the skies. Look at the skies. What do you think it looked like out there that day at 7 o'clock? Let me show you a different picture from that day. That's another picture from that day. Bro, people are going. And to the person who scrubbed Nolan's phone, the parents haven't said that the phone was scrubbed. They said they think that messages were erased. The parents haven't even come back and confirmed that. You need to go look at all the reports. So when people are going back, bro, they going back earlier. Ain't nobody trying to go back across no water in no boat like that at nighttime. Trust me when I tell y'all this. These mofos, a lot of them is getting up out of there around 6:30. Because they got to go across that water to get back to the mainland. And you don't want to get stuck out on that water and it's dark outside. No, you don't. So the person said the picture should have a timestamp. No, they don't. You can take a picture from your iPhone right now and it don't have a timestamp like an old school time on the bottom of your phone. It'll say it like in your actual app. It won't come up on the picture, ma'am. It won't come up on your picture. right? Think about what I just said. Oh, that water was dirty as hell. It made it harder to see at night. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. As the sun set, the water that's right there beside that Horn Island, that water was filthy. It was hard. It's hard to see people. Like when the sun goes down and that water right there. I'm talking about right on the island. Right? Peep what I just said. So look at these skies. Right? Look at those skies. So that day, it wasn't no just all out. You could see the clouds in the sky. Nolan's mother didn't do that. The forensic experts would have found that out immediately. They'd have found that out immediately. Right? I'm trying to tell y'all this. See, somebody's talking with sense. It's coastal, so storms come out of the blue. That's a fact. So that's why people were getting out of there. Anybody who has boats, who fish, they know what I'm talking about. You're getting the fuck out of there because you need to get back to the mainland before it's dark. I'm telling you this shit right now. You do not want to get caught out in the middle of the water at night under no circumstances, because especially on smaller boats, a surprise can fucking hit you and you're out of here. I'm telling y'all this. I'm telling y'all this. So the person said, you don't care what I say, brother, you're not listening to what I'm saying to you. We're talking about that day. Look at the skies that day, dog. You're not listening, brother. Right? So it's not like people are staying out there all the way through the whole, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm going to tell y'all something else that I heard that somebody else sent to me. And I don't really want to put this out here, but I want to say this. Because I said something in a video the other day, and then somebody hit me up that lives down there, and they told me. They said, Tiki, you hit the nail on the head. And I said this. I said, what's the real reason why the big dogs is upset that Ben Crump is down there? What did I tell y'all on this channel? Because Ben Crump is about to expose all the bullshit and the lawlessness that goes on down there at Horn Island. See, they're not telling y'all the whole thing about Horn Island. See, Horn Island is not really patrolled. It's really lawless out that motherfucker, to be honest with you. So you can take a chick out there. You can go out. If you have a boat, you can go out there and do what the fuck you want to do. Peep what I'm telling y'all now. If you have a boat, you can take a chick. You go out there and do whatever the hell you want to do out there on Horn Island, right? And I'm talking about. I heard a lot of shit goes down. That's what I've been told. You know, that's what I've been told. And I heard that, and this is after I said that the other day. I was told this, that Ben Crump coming down there everybody's pissed off because they know he's getting ready to fuck up all the shit that was going on down there. It's a lot because remember, there are no fucking cops patrolling that shit. So people going out there, dude take his chick out there and just do whatever. You know what I'm saying? People go out there. Cops ain't coming out there messing with you too much. You know? So Ben Crump being down there, now him sounding the alarms is going to expose a lot of shit that's going on down there. Underage drinking, other things that's going on down there that we shouldn't talk about. And people, they understand it. That's why they're so mad at Ben Crump. Because Ben Crump, when he come with this goddamn lawsuit, they're going to have to change up a whole lot. And remember, people have been doing this shit every year. From what I heard, and maybe somebody that's from Mississippi can tell me, in the summertime, people go down there damn near every weekend. But it's not like it is on the 4th of July. But people go down there every weekend in the summertime, from what I heard. So I'm just telling y'all this. All right? So the real reason why is because Ben Crump is getting ready to goddamn expose. Remember, this is an island that nobody is really accounting for. I don't think people understand that, right? And think about this. Nobody has went out there to put property out there, any of this stuff, because it's not a real secure place as far as to build houses and stuff. Because when storms come, guess the first place that's going to get annihilated when they hit that coast, Horn Island. So you'll be a damn fool to go down there and put, you know what I'm saying, build that shit up because, I mean, as soon as you put it up and that storm come, it's going to knock that shit down. That's going to get hit first before the coast even gets hit. Right? I'm telling y'all, man, everybody's listening to this video. I'm going to say this. I believe the truth is going to be exposed. I believe that Ben Crump, his team, and the state have evidence and have legitimate tips that they're not telling us about. And I believe they want more information. And I also believe that the real situation that happened down there is going to be exposed. And I believe that the timeline is wrong that everybody's been running with on the internet. But I believe that the real situation that happened, because if you just think that Nolan Wells just drowned out there for no reason, yeah, okay. I just believe everybody got the timeline wrong and they got the people wrong. I told you guys this. Remember I told y'all all this. Y'all get mad at me all right now. I'll accept it in the comments. Because your mind is so fixated that you think is one thing. When the greatest trick the devil ever invented was make you think he didn't exist. To the person who said he just drowned, nah, nope. Because you would have had the same. For him to just drown, he'd have had to been out there by himself with nobody else, wandered off, not talking to nobody. Nobody saw nothing. And then he just drowned. And then nobody thought, hey, man, what's up with nope. Nope. Sorry. I'm telling y'all this. It's going to be something it's going to be a completely different situation than y'all think. I'm not going to say it on the internet, but I'm just telling y'all. So when it comes out, just come give me my respect. That's all I'm going to ask for. But I think y'all got the wrong people. He know. That's why he ain't even saying it's accidental now. He know. That's why he not even saying it's accidental no more. Right? Now, what's the real reason why they mad about Ben Crump? They want you to think, oh, he's pushing racial lines. Nope. They mad because Ben Crump is coming down there with all those private investigators asking questions. And they know when Ben Crump comes down there, somebody got to pay the piper. Right? Period. Somebody got to pay the piper. A lot of shit's gonna be exposed. No, it's okay. You can have your opinion. Listen, you can have your opinion. All right. But what you can't do is you can't accuse somebody of murder without evidence. And people are using an audio that's not admissible in the court of law because it's not authenticated. And not only that, Ben Crump will never talk about that audio. Ever. Ben Crump has already had his people analyze the audio. Why he haven't come out here and talked about it? Because there's nothing to talk about. I told you guys this. Y'all don't want to listen to me. If that audio was real, Ben Crump would have been out here like Hulk. He would have been out here like The Rock. He'd have came out and laid the rock bottom on the whole internet with that audio. And hey, Ben Crump ain't stupid. No, no, no. See, Ben Crump and his team, they know shit y'all don't know. They just not telling y'all right now. They're getting closer to the truth. They just want more answers. And he would have more answers if the cops told them as far as they've gotten. But the fact that the cops won't tell them nothing, that's why Ben Crump and them is kind of, and I believe that the cops is kind of upset as well with Ben Crump because he don't came down there and flash a light and expose a lot of shit. I told y'all, a lot of shit's gonna get exposed. They already looked at the audio, man. It don't take them a week to look at that audio. Ben Crump and them been on that audio since the first day it came out. He ain't find shit. That's why he'll never talk about it. Ask him. Whenever Ben Crump do his next video, ask him about the audio. All he gonna do is say, well, that audio, yeah, we have the original CTO audio. We investigated that audio. He not saying no names. He not saying, yeah, man, we heard this, we heard that. Because if Ben Crump had that, he'd be out here front line. Front line. Right? So the person said they're all complicit, that's not true. You can't blame everybody. Everybody that went out there did not know what was going to happen with Nolan Wells. Everybody out there wasn't paying attention to Nolan Wells. Somebody knows, though. I ain't going to blame everybody, though. Somebody knows. Few people know. Right? You said Ben Crump. Oh, yes, he will. Ben Crump would be the first one to go to the internet with that shit. He ain't playing. If Ben Crump got something legit, he'd be the first thing to come to the internet with that shit. Period. I'm telling y'all that. Ben Crump is not even saying what content creators are saying. This is the part y'all don't understand. Ben Crump is not saying any of this shit. Ben Crump has not called any of those boys a racist. Ben Crump has not accused any of those boys of murder. The only thing Ben Crump has done is he's highlighted Mississippi, the racial history of Mississippi, and the fact that he don't think that they investigate crimes or investigate deaths of blacks the way that they do others. That's what he said. How can he say that, Ticket? Oh, well, he has a case in 2023 with Rasheem Carter, where the Mississippi police said that Rasheem Carter had an accidental death, even though his goddamn dome was found apart from his body. And they tried to say, oh, the animals did that. And then when they went in and exhumed the body and they had it autopsy by an independent investigator, they found out somebody's samurai sword that boy hit. And they had to change the whole investigation. And come to find out, the boy told his mama if something happened to him, that 3 white boys had been chasing him. Right? So that's why he feel away. I told y'all, man, I trust Ben Crump, man. Good dude, man. Long time, tried and true. Period. As far as his resume. His resume can't be questioned. Period. You said if I had a boat, they did go back and look for him. What are you talking about? The family, all them people went back. What are you talking about? I showed you the report yesterday. They was on it from late that night, right? They called the fan because the mother called that night. She called the Marines first that night. The Marine, what you call it, MDMR, right? Bro, you're not listening. The friends called the mother. Bro, the friends cannot go back out there that night at that time of night, bro. Bro, you're not getting on that water that time of night, man. Bro, you need a search and rescue team to be out there in the water at that time of night. There's no electricity, no lights out there, bro. At all. You literally would have to wait till daylight. You would need a whole search and rescue team to go out there in the middle of the night. I'm talking about with lights. And remember, the report said that they first thought when they first thought, oh, he ain't got his phone. So their time went by. So the person said many stories is going to be many stories. You got all these people that's talking about things. See, let me tell you something. When everybody gives you the same exact story, that's when you know something ain't right. Learn law. Why? Because many people see things in different perspectives. Maybe you see similar thing, but you see it in different. Everybody has a different perspective, right? To the person who says you came with the two boats they had, brother, you don't know that, brother. You already had problems with your boat. Why the fuck would you go back out there at night with that boat? Make it make sense. You're not using your brain, brother. You would need, again, the Coast Guard to go out there because they would have to go out there with the big lights to flash on the water, bro. So let's say they thought he went back with a chick, but they called the mother. They called the mother, and the mother called the cops that night. Or she called the MDMR that night. Then they forwarded her to the cops early the next morning, and then that next morning they were already out there on the water. You know what I mean? Yeah, Trump is not showing his hand. Trump is smart as hell. Crump. Crump. He know what time it is. That's why he not talking about none of that other shit. I'm telling y'all this. What the problem is that they're not getting the information from the state yet on what the state got, and because the state hasn't said nothing, everybody confuses that with, oh, they don't give a fuck, bro. They're not going to tell you this. This is the same shit happened with that white boy. What's his name? Kohlenberger, whatever his name is. When they thought they wasn't investigating him, and then when it came out, they had been investigating that fool the whole time. Now he's talking. Now he mad, right? Right. Listen to what I said to y'all. You said why the kids didn't want to give up the keys and the phone. The report said that it was in the car. You know what I mean? That's a good. I mean, listen, there are questions. I'm just saying, but that wasn't Bart though. He said, "Yeah, full moon's the only way you have a chance." I'm trying to tell you, when them waters get dark, a lot of these people ain't been on the water. Probably on the water almost every fucking day. I don't think people understand this shit. If you get out there on that water at night and you don't have that much light, you're fucked. I don't think people know this. I be on the water damn near every day. If I'm not on YouTube on the water every day, bro, you ain't going out there in the middle, bro. You'll be a damn fool. All it takes is one storm, your ass Wheezy out of here. This is what people don't understand. Wheezy, bro, you would need a fucking search team to go out that joint in the middle of the night. I'm talking about helicopters, big ass beam light, all that shit. I'm telling y'all this. That's why I told y'all people getting off that island early, right? I'm telling y'all. You'll see when it come out. I'm believing, and I hope they go ahead and get this solved so we can get to a resolution. Time of death, very important. Witnesses of who saw him last, very important. Witnesses of who was with him last, very important. We'll see. We'll see. So the person said face finger code. How can you have a face finger code when you can't use Nolan to open the phone? You use your brain.
Hey, we always appreciate the support, and if you guys want to do so, you can use the Cash App or PayPal links. They'll be in the description box below this video or pinned at the top of the comments. The top donators will be announced every month. All right, you guys, hope y'all enjoyed the video. Like, share, and subscribe. Make sure y'all cop the merch, and make sure that you get the weight loss formula. The links to that will be in the description box below this video. Check out our next video coming up right now.